man. Was this the second time we saw Baksha in Season 11? First one fielded by Next Play Evos.
It's going to be the fourth.
Oh, really?
Because it said 3 times picked earlier. And they count all the previous ones. So
okay, so I think Wise played one also earlier.
Yeah, he did.
So then a couple. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Actually have that
sporadically
here.
shown. Sporadically shown.
Yeah, this is going to be his third game of the Baksha of the season.
There you go. Oh, here we go. It seems we are in unanimous synchronicity here. All of the talents on desk today believe it should be Blacklist. What do you think at home, guys? Watch out for the smart power prediction, all right? More on that in just a bit, but again, one more look at our lineups. This is Onic Philippines. This is Blacklist International. At some point in the game, a poll will show up. You only have until the time runs out to comment your prediction with the hashtag SmartPowersMPLS11. One lucky commenter who guessed correctly will win a redeemable in-game code. Again, keep an eye out for the poll. Fellas, how are we feeling about this Game 1 draft?
I'm liking both, and I was talking about specifically Onic Philippines, the advantages they have, but I think even with this Lolita pick from Oh My Venus, it works to counter into that really well. But this is where you see the difference in these Lolita players, right, and how well they are, especially how they play around the conceal and find the angles to set up. But the streak continues. The highest kill participation, 73.15%, 6-week streak. That's what we were talking about in the draft. And we'll see if Onic Philippines can actually live up to that streak and that title here.
Yeah, meanwhile, Blacklist International can't break the code, ranked first in these total deaths with 202. So still very fundamental discipline. Blacklist International. I only have one big note here for the drafts of these two teams. I wrote it all caps, underlined, team fight.
Well, they're not getting into it just yet. But do note, it looks like Keketat has a different plan. He doesn't want to oblige down XP lane, although Oh My Venus has visited the Arlot down bottom on Ryota as well. Baksha on Wise checked in. So now, it looks like gold lane might still be the focus.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if this game actually is a low kill score game, maybe around 15 total. So who will get more gold in this game, Nets or Owl? And yeah, it's not going to be an XP lane focus here, but it's going to be Wise going down.
Okay, bottom side, Ryota should be fine, right? He's also got the tenacity here. And this is, with Arla specifically, this is what I see Blacklist International wanting to do. Put pressure there, but also, like you guys mentioned, put pressure in the gold lane when you can. And that's what Onic Philippines has to do. They have to be able to counterplay a lot of that aggression that Blacklist International is known for. And now with this first turtle up here, you can see Edward already going to take the brunt of the damage. The vengeance, though. There's the first blood going to the hands of Ryota. Now, Turtle still going to be worked on. Bounce between both teams, but numbers advantage for Onic Philippines. They can't commit to it just yet, though.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that Onic actually didn't decide to hold that turtle, and they allowed Wise to reset it. I think they're really looking at the ultimates of even the Lolita here as something that they are going to watch out for. That's why they're a bit cautious.
There's the charge up. They do find it. That's the turtle as well. Sensui grabs it while charge is going to come out. Yue grabbing a kill himself. But all is done after that. Ryota did fall, and the turtle goes in the hands of Onic Philippines.
Looks like a wash to me. Again, they got a kill on the backswing, but Onic can actually use this to snowball. Onic can usually take these trades, and then, again, just rely on nets. Eventually, it's all going to end up with nets.
Yeah, and you saw there so many tools for interruption for the Numenon Blast of the Lolita. The Queen was charging it up, but it was just the toss of the Guardian's Barrier of the Grok. That huge rock wall that got to interrupt it. So both teams right now just very textbook, honestly. Fight around the turtle, try to contest it, and then at the same time, just give a little bit more space for your gold laners to farm up. It's going to be in the team fights and the major objectives where we're going to see a lot of action.
Now about a minute until the second turtle comes up. Onic with a very small lead, again, 200 gold. And what's interesting is it's not on the gold lane, actually. A lot of the gold difference might be coming from these rotations. And yeah, look, Blacklist kept to their own side. This is a 4v4 waiting to happen.
Yeah, they know. I mean, there's a lot of good information that both of these the teams are getting for each other, and I think I agree with Renmar here. You're not going to see too much action early on, except every time that objective pops up, right? Because there really isn't a huge opportunity here. The way both these teams are playing around this kind of macro playstyle for pickoffs to happen here, right? Oh My Venus is going to flicker around, so doesn't have that leading into this next objective.
Okay, so in the pro scene, that is a very big deal. Those little sequences, those little moments to force out a key ability such as Flicker, Onic got a good one there.
Yep, 10 seconds away from the turtle. Wise, this whole time having much, much better battlefield rotational speed, pressuring Sensui. And just in time for this turtle to come in. I think both are just going to agree to delay. Unless Blacklist wants to go faster. Oof.
Yep, full info now for Onic that Blacklist are going to be committing for this turtle.
Yeah, Super Prince grabbing the exact ultimate he needs for this, just like he did last time, right? He had the real-world manipulation available, and now they're going to play around this. So it's going to be him and Yue setting up those boxes. Both gold laners at the bottom side. There you go. Yue pops his. Turtle's still going to be worked on now. Super Prince Sensui grabs the turtle again. No one falling, though. Super Prince should be able to get out, has the help of the team as well. Gets a little more pokes in and backs off. Onic Philippines with another objective.
Clean.
Very clean. Once again, the Numenon Blast getting interrupted. And this will be a very difficult game for Lolita. All the picks on the side of Onic can disrupt that key ability for Blacklist International. While the turtle was getting led up by these two teams, actually, the gold laners have switched lanes. They've gone to the bottom lane now, formerly the XP lane. Still quite close in the farm. Demon Hunter Sword already for Al. Meanwhile, Nets still just picking different pieces of different items. But once around minute 7, 8 hits, he'll have 2 main items already if he doesn't get taken out.
Yeah, he's on his way to possibly a Hunter Strike or a Cursed Helm. He has so many choices. If they're ahead, he goes ahead, picks up the Hunter Strike. No problem.
Exactly. So BOD was the first build up there for Nets. Might be rushing a Malefic Roar.
Oh my, Venus has to be able to find the angles later on to land those Numeron Blasts because, you know, it's unfortunate when something like the Guardian's Bear is enough to just cancel it out, right? That little movement here. But, you know, this is, again, a game of basically minutes for both of these teams. But right now, Onic Philippines just having a better early game, securing the objectives they want to. And I guess you'll have to see exactly what the box jet can provide as we get to that mid to late game.
Yeah, it's an old principle against Blacklist International. When you go up against them, you just have to put yourself in a situation where in terms of what they have to pull off in the game is simple. Just play better than Blacklist. And right now, Onic are doing that. They've put themselves in this position where they can just say, hey, right now we're playing better than Blacklist. But the thing that we have to watch out for here is the power spike. The Matrix and the Claude will hit. No deaths yet for the respective marksmen of both teams. And this could just explode into one big team fight, giving one team full control.
Sensui here with a pull, and Wise jumps in.
Oh, everybody actually going to fight for this one. Turtle still worked on. There's the charge up. Kakadu does fall, and Edward going to force 2 members back here. Sensui, perfect on the Turtles, does grab it again here under the noses of Blacklist International. So they lose a member, but they grab another Turtle.
Sensui still on point. He just walked up to that turtle.
That's what he's been doing, man. Just coming in, taking it.
Yoink, fight.
It's less about Sensui just coming in. It's because Blacklist kind of left that turtle pit. They went and tried to punish Onic head on, but the rest of Onic backed out. They decided, like, you know what? Okay, we're happy with kicking it out for now. Yeah. We're just 7 minutes in, but I don't think they saw that Sensui was going to stay.
Yeah, the abilities they used to get that early lead in that fight and then to counter punish while Onic were run away meant that Sensui could just do that, walk up to it, even though he didn't have an ability that will, at that time it was on cooldown to avoid control effects. He's like, all right, I've seen what Blacklist already used in this fight. I can just go up and use my retribution right away. So now all 3 turtles go on the side of Onic, but again, it's still very close. Because of the discipline of Blacklist International, they're not giving up so many opportunities to get picked off by Onic. If they don't get the turtle, that's it. They're going to back off. Now, though, once the Lord fights start coming up, that's going to be the big question. How much are teams going to be able to, or how much are they willing to commit in the Lord fight?
Oh, they left Owl to his own devices. That's dangerous. I wonder if they can get one back from up top. It's 3 on Edward. Make that 4. Here comes Wise. Oh, they intercept Sensui.
Yeah, a lot of focus there. You know, this is about what Wise can do in the box draw. He can get around the map very quickly, but still, how does this turn out for the team fight for them? Owl's going to start to shine here.
Yeah.
You can already see it, right? So, again, this is what we were talking about in the draft where both these teams, the pacing is set by the roamers, which they've done pacing is kind of steady, right? But now we're at the point in the game, especially with this Lord coming up here, where both gold laners, this is their time to shine. They've had the past 9 minutes to pretty much have a good time farming up, and now it comes down to how do they turn this team fight around in their favor with everything they've farmed up up to this point. You can even see the XP laners making their way for this Lord Dance.
This is Lord Dance started early. Again, as soon as the Lord spawned, both Insui and Wise were at the scene, and there's a Numinum Blast coming in. Moy Venus. Super Prince still has the RWM. Oh, look at Edward.
Okay, push Nets back. They're down a couple of the ultimates, though. Now Wise in the real world manipulation. They get the wild card. Kakadu still survives, though. Edward does chase him down. Finds the kill here. Now with the numbers advantage, Blacklist International going to go ahead and start this Lord. It was quite messy. Sensui getting some warning shots from Mao. Edward on the hunt to push him back further.
Wow.
Nets quite low, has to get out, and just like that, Blacklist International turning things around in that fight. They give up the 3 turtles, but they get the Lord.
Masterfully done. This is exactly what Blacklist was planning to do all along. They've actually conditioned Onic PH to try and stop the Numinum Blast, but at the end of the day, that's not what mattered.
Yep, the Starfield, the real world manipulation coming out of UA on point. Kakadu got caught with his pants down, and for a moment, it seems like Onic forgot that Blacklist International's XP laner is a joy. One of the most punishing to go up against, the kill chaser for the lineup, and instantly we saw it. Once Kakadu was low, even though he committed that flicker, Edward came in for the chase, and then Edward single-handedly stopped the other members of Onic from being able to contest. A small window of opportunity was what Blacklist found. They kicked the window down and have made themselves a door.
Essentially what that does is it isolated Nets, and you saw the Beatrice was pushed back all the way into their orange buff, and then that was just off timing completely. And now it's Blacklist's time.
Wow.
They're the ones who are dictating the pace, they're the ones pushing lanes, and up top, Owl takes down a tier 2. Bottom might be up next.
Like, if you think about it, with the lineup from Blacklist International, the fact that they can push Onic Philippines back with just Edward on Joy, but also Owl, now that he's online with this quad. Charge up, though. Combined 2 with the Ruben Blast. Both RDM coming out. Nets does fall, though. And now they're trying to fire back out quite low. Falls himself 3 down for Blacklist International. What looked like a fight that was theirs. They lose the members here. Still going, Edward. 2 versus 1. Make it 3 versus 1. He has to get out of here. He already had used the ultimate. Says Super Friend's gonna flicker in. Edward, can he escape it? He bombs, he weaves. Edward lives to fight another day.
Abunjing gets away with it. And this joy is exactly why you should ban the hero. He got away with so much.
That was 3 versus 1.
3v1. I really thought he was down for the count, but somehow he made that Joy look like it had a flicker on, but no, that is still a vengeance on that Joy. And now Onic, though, they made a terrible situation into something good. They walked away with 3 kills. They couldn't get Edward down, but no, Ryota in a dire situation.
Okay, Ryota. I don't think he's going to be like Joy, not going to be able to escape this 3 versus 1. Finally falls to Owl. Sensui was trying to get there, but look at the top side. They're putting some pressure here. They're going to look to get this tier 2, Kakadu and Nets. Looks like they're going to be happy with that and back off.
Very disciplined, these 2 teams. We saw what Blacklist International did to the map of Onic after they took the turtle. Now, after finding a breath of fresh air, countering Blacklist International's attempt in the mid lane, they got towers up top.
Okay, there's the Newman Blast, but there's going to be no follow-up. Super Friends just going to take that one, and now Lord is up once again. Both teams looking to get in possession here.
So far, so good. That last engagement where Onic punished Blacklist over Zealous engage in mid puts him at about a 50-50 chance. Like, this Lord is at least a Lord that they can contest. Now, it's Luminous, folks. It will charge into main objectives. And, man, the pressure that Edward is putting on the map is pushing Ryota's Arlot away. I'm not feeling this Arlot, not quite yet.
Yeah, because of both teams drafting really well for team fights, Onic leaned in on that idea really hard, which meant that Blacklist got to pick a hero that can team fight incredibly well, but at the same time also create space for the rest of the map. That this Joy is a problem. The split pushing, the side towers for Onic, that they might end up having to face 4v4, which will turn into a 4v5 because Edward will be able to get back to the fight in time.
Gentlemen, Owl just stole the purple. Sensui and Super Friends are purpleless.
Well, still, even given the situation, this is just dragging out that Lord Dance even further. Hopefully they can utilize what they've stolen, but for Onic Philippines, they're doing a great job at really just extending this and even dealing with the pressure that Edward is putting on the top and now even focusing a little bit on the bottom side here.
Now, we're seeing exactly how Blacklist is setting this up. Again, they're taking their time, and they're giving the orange over to Owl, and look at where Yu is putting himself. I'm not sure if Super Friends has an ult yet. Oh no, he has the rhythm and beats.
Has the ultimate key abilities up for both teams. The ultimate on the Valentina though.
Okay, he decided to go ahead and use it, but again, still, Super Friends also has that Joy ultimate. Look at that, the pressure on the backside! Super Friends does survive, but Nets left all alone. The pressure was too much. Now caught in their RWM. Ryota's trying to get out of here on this R-Lot. Will he be able to escape? Edward goes in, there's the final slash. He gets back though. They try to counterpunch. Ryota still amidst it all. 3 versus 3 in the jungle. Kakadu with the wild charge. No follow-ups just yet. They get the flicker out. Edward pushing them back. Whole lot of action. Nobody falls here. And now Lord again for Blacklist International.
They're short on firepower. Onic PH may have found the perfect counter engage, but Nets wasn't around.
Nets was down, and the Valentina at this point not yet enough in terms of damage. There's a lot of control for Onic, but you said it, Leo, not enough firepower without that Beatrix. Onic were WTD, way too deep. They forgot they didn't have their second tower in mid. That was an easy conceal, rush, ultimate catch ball by Blacklist International. Hell of a play there by Oh My Venus and the rest of Blacklist.
And now with just spending one flicker, right? Blacklist are at the cusp of penetrating Onic PH's base. Check mid here. Lord's gonna crash in, and just like that, permanent damage. Onic PH have to consider.
They're gonna get wise. They should be able to get him down here. Still has the Immortality team following up there. The cancel comes through. Wise still alive. Bobbing and weaving for a little bit longer. Super Prince finally getting the kill. They still got the Lord. They finally get that down as well. The damage is done though. They lost the mid turret. But Onic Philippines still staying in the game here.
Again, this is good news, bad news for Onic. They can clear waves. They're online again for most of the game, whether they're playing early, mid, late, ultra late. But Blacklist's execution, Blacklist's approach to these team fights have been, I'd say, almost spot on in the later half. Starting at 8-9 minutes, they've been catching on and sleeping.
Yeah, Athena Shields already on the hands of the Joy and the Claw. Kakadu down low!
This is bad. Okay, Numan Blast gonna land. Kakadu flickers out. There's the follow-up. Owl comes in. Yue grabs the kill though. Still the pressure is there. Edward doesn't have the ultimate available just yet, but looking for an angle here that he can find one. Super Prince goes in. There's the final slash too. The shutdown comes through. Sensui as well, still on the hunt for Owl. Owl can't get away, pops the wind chance, but it's not enough. Sensui grab another one, 3 down for Blacklist International. Onic Philippines with a huge play as they march down the mid lane.
Deja vu, but this time around, Onic might actually capitalize. They're converting into mid.
Onyx Prince, that was promised with a massive Numenon blast as the Valentina is just Venus and Wise. The Royal Duo, can they hold on here?
They can hold on. They got 1 minute to work on. Another wave coming through. They've got a couple seconds for Edward and Yue. They've got to buy time. Numenon Blast can charge up. Final slash and Nets goes in. Takes the crystal out. Taking game 1 for Onic Philippines.
Massive. The Prince that was promised started it all, and Onic PH capitalized the smoothest sidestep.